A J-Mix exclusive.
Hello all, it's J-Mix here, and I'd like to welcome all my YouTube subs and viewers to the second part of my exclusive interview with Moe-z, MD. I want all my YouTube subs and viewers to be on the lookout for Funk House Records and show love and support to Mr. Moe-z. So without any further ado, here's part 2 with Moe-z, MD. Mo, we're coming up on the 20th anniversary of 2Pac's Me Against the World album. I kind of wanted to know what your thoughts were on a 20th anniversary edition of that album.
Well, yeah, I've been thinking about that for maybe a year. I was thinking something good would be like to try to get the people that were involved, the majority of the people that were involved in the project. I know some of us have passed and gone on, and some of us are not doing, that type of work anymore. But it would be cool to get, the ones who are and interested in being a part of it, like try to get some of the acapellas and stuff and make an album for the fans that's, something with the same kind of energy and bringing those same songs back, but like with a different perspective production-wise. As far as like how today, like you can't beat what it was, because it was like a classic album. But to make something that is just as much of a classic, to put that same kind of energy into it, but making these songs a different perspective, like I did with that Dear Mama on a couple of years ago. Like just making a different like, wow, I never thought of Dear Mama that way. Okay, wow, And I think it would be fun for the fans because his songs are going to live on forever and ever, and they're always going to have that first version of that album. But this would be something they could be like, if I want to hear it a different way, I can hear that whole album, but just with a different perspective. And, I feel like it's got to be top notch. It can't be just thrown together like some of these other albums that been putting out, not on Pac, but like on other artists where they have people remix the songs or whatnot. It doesn't seem like they put the same kind of energy into it as the original song. They just try to, hey, I'm on this album, yeah, and it's not about that. It's about what people are going to hear from not just now, but time past. That's why that Me Against the World album was so classic, because I don't think anybody was thinking about what's going on musically right now. We try to think of what is music. Let's make this a classic musical album versus we're going to sound like Dog Pound or we're going to sound like this or that,
So are you speaking about live instruments and new production? Do you think it's possible to do that and keep the integrity of the original sound?
I believe so. Yeah, because if you focus on the same kind of energies that made the song what it is, but change it musically as far as what the notes are, like just say for instance, this is a song that had live instruments in it, and most of it did, and you have that and you accentuate that, but you make it a different piece. You're just playing a different piece of music, and I was even thinking, after getting all of the files and stuff done, to send them to like Paul Arnold, who like killed the album, and try to, because he had that ear to make it sound like what everybody wanted to hear. That's why the label had him do so much stuff. The energy that he brought to the mixes, it brought life to what was there musically. Like, because what we did musically, anyone could have mixed it, would have sounded a different way, but what he brought to it, it just brought the things to life that made people go, oh, I feel that. And you can feel that album more than just lyrically or the personality of Pac, but you feel it musically too. It's just like, oh my goodness, sonically, what's played, the lyrics, the singing, it was just like really pieced together wonderfully. It would have been a lot different without him doing a lot of those mixes. And not to discredit the other guys who did mixes on there, because theirs were, super tight too. But, I know my man's ear. Me and him worked on a bunch of records even before that. And he's He's A100, man.
Oh, special shout out to Paul Arnold. He's a really nice guy. Speaking of Me Against the World, the song If I Die Tonight. Now, you added something to that. Can you tell us a little bit about what you contributed to the song If I Die Tonight?
Inadvertently, I added the part where Dre goes, "Tonight's the night I get in some shit." You know, I was in the studio when he was mixing that, and he was doing drops and and making stuff come in and out and everything. And I'm like, wow, and just enjoying the song. And every time that part would come in my head, I would hear, "Tonight's the night I get in." So I told him about that. I said, "Paul, what if right here, when that part comes, you drop that Dre sample in there, 'Tonight's the night I get in'." And he was like, "Ooh." Or you could go in there and say it, because we got caught up on this thing where we were recreating samples. People were like not giving us clearance on certain things, so we would go in and recreate it with different, with my voice or different instruments or whatever. So we were caught up in that vibe. I was like, let me type, but I don't sound enough like Dre. Maybe we could just get the sample. So he took the sample, threw it in there. I'm like, wow, perfect. I wasn't even supposed to do that. I was just there to watch.
Recently, you put out a song called Lifestyles of the Rough and Sexy, where you claim that it's the beat when 2Pac was in prison and he kept calling the studio to record, that is the same beat. Do you still have that instrumental?
I do not still have that beat. I've looked all over for it. I used to have it on a CD because it was one of the ones I would like try to send out to people if I was sending out beats, but nobody really felt it like that. But Pac heard it on a CD I sent to him, and he felt it, and wanted to use it. As well as after the situation went south, maybe about 2 years after that, Ron DeVoe from BBD wanted to use it for his solo project he was doing, and he had Miss Toy on there as a guest, and so it was kind of like a duet kind of situation. And my sister was there with me, Keela, or we used to call her Killer on the records and stuff, on Pac records and all that, and call her Killer. But she was there with me, and she kind of helped them get through, like coming up with, the concept and getting it hooked together and all that, and then even sang ad-libs through it. But they were going to use it for his project. And Miss Toy was on. That was the first time I met her.
But it is very true that Lifestyles of the Rough and Sexy does have that very beat underneath it, correct?
Yep, the exact beat. Yep. It was nothing changed at all.
Once again, this is J-Mix here. I'd like to thank all my YouTube subs who took the time to watch this part of the interview with Moe-z. Keep it locked right here. I got much more to come with Moe-z and many more guests to come. I'll see everybody on the next upload. One love, everybody.
A J-Mix exclusive.
What up, shut up.